Okay, I want to discuss Shovovim, Rabbi Isai. Heilige Shovovim, here we are, Parsha Shemos, Shovovim. So tonight, Be'ezus Hashem, we're going to be talking about the Inyan of Shovovim in Yonei Kedusha, and we're going to go into the sugya quite into detail. I want to start with an introduction. What is Shovovim? A lot of people actually told me that before they came to yeshiva, they never even knew what Shovovim was, what it right, there we are, right? So, okay, beautiful. So we're here today. Okay, Gavaldi. So Rabbi Isai, we're here today to understand what is Shovovim. Tonight we're going to go into a little bit of a different kivun. But before we get to tonight's share, I want to discuss Shovovim. Okay? So I want to start with the Mordecai Ma'aseh with the Heilige Baal Shem. The Heilige Baal Shem Tov, it's brought down in Toldos Yaakov Yosef, brings down that was once a very simple guy. Yeah? That this simple guy failed in everything that he possibly tried to do. Right? And people found his mistake so funny that they nicknamed him Chayzik. You know what Chayzik means? A joke. That's what his name was, Chayzik. Until it basically stuck. And basically he even thought his name was Chayzik. He thought his name was Chayzik because he just failed at everything. Everything was a joke. Everything never worked out. So people named him Chayzik and he thought himself his name was Chayzik. Now Chayzik had a very, very interesting problem. Listen to this problem and tell me if anybody recognizes this problem. Every night before he went to sleep, he prepared the clothes that he wanted to wear for the next day. This way, as soon as he woke up, he could get dressed straight away and continue the day. The problem was, when he woke up the next morning, he forgot where he put his clothes. So it took him hours and hours to get dressed. He couldn't figure it out. This was Chayzik's big problem. Somebody told him great advice. You know what the advice they told him? When you go to bed at night and you put your clothes in a certain place, Shlomo, write down where you put them. This way, when you wake up in the morning, you could say, oh, my shirt is on the chair, and my pair of socks is in the corner, and this way I'll know where everything is, because I'll write it down, it should be okay. So that's what he did. He started writing everything down, and the most important thing at the bottom of the list, and Chayzik is in bed. That's what he wrote, right? So basically, with the list, he was able to get dressed, and he got dressed, and then the problem was, he looked in bed and he couldn't find Chayzik. So where's Chayzik? I didn't know what to do. Right? It was an unbelievable thing. It took him hours. Again, the same thing again. The Heilige Baal Shem Tov said over this Maisa, and he said that oftentimes we go through the year and we're busy with lists, we're busy with ideas, we're busy with all sorts of things, but we forget about ourselves. We forget to look into ourselves and realize, who are we? And if I would be able to summarize what Shovovim is, I would say that's what it is. It's figuring out who are we. Now, often throughout the year we're busy. We've got Yomim Tovim, we've got Yom Tovim Daraisa, Darabonons, we've got Sukkot, we've got Pesach, we've got Purim, Chanukah. There's so much going on. Shovovim always falls out at a time where there's really no Yomim Tovim. Okay. Now, let me just go back a step back. Where did Shovovim come from? So people think it's like a Hasidic thing. Right? It's actually not true. It actually comes at the time of the Rishonim already, okay? At the time of the Trumas Hadeshen, okay, we're doing with the Rishonim over here, that they had a minig that could be, but it's already from the time, I just want to clarify, Shovovim isn't a Hasidic made up thing. It comes from the time of the Rishonim, the Trumas Hadeshen, already brings down, by his Talmud, the Leket Yosha brings down, who wrote down many minhagim of his Rebbe, the Trumas Hadeshen, and he said that in an Ibur year, right, an Ibur year is when you have an extra month in the year. They started fasting every Thursday, starting Parsha Shemos until Parsha Tetzaveh Shovovim. Shemos ve'era boy b'shalach Yisroi mishpatim, and sometimes Truma Tetzaveh Shovovim tat. This year it's just Shovovim, and it ends by Parsha's Mishpatim. This minhag, which is not only recorded by the Leket Yosha b'Shem his Rebbe, the Trumas Hadeshen, is actually brought down many svarim that this was the minhag of Klal Yisrael. The Talmidi Marshal, the Levush, the Matimosha, the Heilige Shlakudish, the Teres Zakenim, the Arizal, the Tosfos Yontif, the Magen Avraham, and Simon Tophesh Pei. It's brought down in many, many places that the minhag was to fast on the weeks of Shovovim, starting from Parsha Shemos all the way to Parsha Mishpatim. Why? Mapsha. So the Matimosha, I think it's important for us to understand this before we go into the detail tonight of Shovovim itself. Let's understand what Shovovim represents. The Matimosha brings from his Rebbe, the Marshal, and they say because it's a leap year, that means there's more than a year between one Bahab and the second Bahab. You all know what Bahab is. Beis Hey Beis, which is the Monday, Thursday, and Monday following a Yontov like Sukkot and Pesach, when there's a Chol HaMoed and people could do Averos during Chol HaMoed, and therefore people used to fast. They say Slichas, Bahab. So because you have an Uber year, you have an extra month, there's more than 6 months, half a year, between the first Bahab and the other, and therefore we need a Yemei Slichas, we need people to think about where they're holding in life and to do Tshiva, v'chole. Zuk da Arizal, right? This is put down the Behetiv and Simon Tofresh Pehei. The Arizal says that these days of Shovovim is a Sgula to be Mesakin for the Chet HaYodua. What does he mean by the Chet HaYodua? Translated as the known Aveira. Which known Aveira? So L'choyre is talking about Zera Lavatala. Right? For a person who's busy with these things, this is the months, these are the weeks that a person can work on himself, and not only can he work on himself, there's a specific skula for a person to be able to have the siyata deshmaya for a person to do that. Why? So listen to this pshat, it's beautiful, the Arizal says. He says, we start at Shemos. Why do we start at Shemos? What does Parsha Shemos represent? Parsha Shemos represents the beginning of Shibud Mitzrayim. Klal Yisrael went into Mitzrayim, they became slaves, they became avodim. When did it finish? By Parshas Mishpatim. And therefore it's a time that people become slaves to their Yetzer Hara, and a specific time for work from Shemos till Mishpatim that we can go free. So it's a special siyata d'shmaya for these things as well. Now, the Makoris that we just said from the Mogen Avom, the Levush, the Matei Moshe, is only on an Ubayur, like a year that is an extra month, right? Now, this year happens not to be. However, we find many more Makoris that say Shovim also applies to Shana Pshuta, like this year, the Pri Megadim, Eish Avom, Simon Tofresh Pehei, the Sharit Shuva, the Chidah, Reb Chaim Vital was Makabel from his Rebbe, the Arizal, and the Heilige Yesod V'Sheresh V'Avoida. That all bring down that the minig of Shovim also applies to a regular, like the year that we have right now. Now, the Ikat Shuva on Shovim, by the way, was fasting. Right? We find this from the Magid Mishorim, who was the Malach that told and taught the Beis Yosef what to write in Parshas B'Shalach, that he writes the Ikar Tikkun of Shovim is actually to fast. There is said to fast every day. Some people like the Matei Moshe and the Levush bring down to fast on a Monday and Thursday. Lemaisa, the Heilige Chassidish Svarim bring down, I'll give you some Armakomis in a moment, they say that nowadays we do not fast, we're not able, and therefore the Ikar Tshuva that we can do is Torah. Right, the Tzimaya Zilberg is very busy into this right now. We're not holding around a level right now of fasting because our bodies are not able to cope with it. But what we could do is learn more, and that's what they bring down. That Shovim Torah is the biggest way of getting a person tahor, and as we'll put down from the Magid Mimezrich, the Shemish Shmuel, the Koznitzer Rebbe, the Oyev Yisrael, the Apterov, the Balatanya, the Vayatza, the Klosenberger, and many, the Slonimer Rebbe, many all bring down the same thing, that now we're not holding in a generation that can fast, and rather what we do is that we marabeh in Torah. Now, the Zera Kodesh also in Parshas Boy brings the person mechazik in Hasmodas HaTorah during Shovovim, and he says the gematria of Shovim is Shas. Why Torah? Explains the Eglei Tal in the Hagdama from the Kotzker Rebbe. Brings a Mayudika Maisa from the Kotzker Rebbe, that he says every Avera that we do starts from where? Every Avera starts from the moich, starts from the brain. The brain wants you to do it, and that begins the kilkul. If a person learns Torah, he gets directly to the moich. Somebody wrote a letter to Rav Vosner Zatzal, and it was a Bach in Yeshiva. There was a Bach who was falling very much in Inyonei Kedusha, and he said, I don't understand. Doesn't the Gemara say, Barasli Yetzer Hara, Barasli Torah Tavlin? I created the Yetzer Hara, but I created the remedy for the Yetzer Hara, and that is Torah. I'm learning Torah Basmodi Gadol all day, and I'm falling in all Inyonim of Kedusha, which we'll explain tonight. How can this be? So Rav Vosner told him, Enochanami, but at the end of the day, the Torah is a beautiful remedy if that's all you're doing. But if you're igniting the Yetzer Hara with other things as well, don't expect Torah to work. And that's why the Eglei Tal explains on the Kutzka that if a person's marben Torah, so it gives him less time for everything else, and Mamela, he puts in his brain so much Torah, it pushes out all of the garbage over here. A lot of poskim bring down that it's an inyan to say Tehillim during the days of Shovim. Tehillim is a very, very choshev thing to say all year round, but during Shovim, there's an extra special time. The Rosh Tevas are Hashovim, Sofei Tevas are actually Tehillim, which is very, very interesting. And that's why it's very, very important for a person to realize that this is a time that a person can work on himself. This is a time that a person can try his best to mal himself, to bring himself up. The weeks of Shovim have special siyata d'shmaya, and Be'ez Hashem, We're going to go tonight through the halachas, not the halachas so much, more like the hashkafa of understanding how we can really relate to Shovovim on a practical level. But I just wanted a person just to understand where Shovovim comes from, and Siyata Shemaya, we should try to enter the Shovovim with a real look and a real understanding of what these weeks can do for us. And each one, as they say, Lev Yodei Moris Nafshe, the Gemara Yuma tells us that everyone knows his own nefesh, everyone knows his own soul. We know what we're guilty of. We know what we need to have to work on. It's between us and the Rabbeinu Shalom. Everyone should try to makabel on themselves, maybe a little bit more learning, a little bit more tehillim, in Yonei Kedusha, which we'll discuss tonight. Everyone should try something. And the special siyata d'shmaya that you get at the time during Shovovim will help every single one of us be mala'as and build ourselves up, that will Be'ez Hashem come to Parashat Mishpatim as free people, as Klal Yisrael themselves did b'shas then, that will also come to free people. And Be'ez Hashem tonight we'll go to the Inyanim, and that is Shovovim.